uh-ohs, as I would call them.
Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
Because I'm nice.
My Senny squad, my Seners, whatever you want to call yourself, Sen Americans, welcome to a new video. Now, before we do our amazing live stream this Friday, tomorrow, 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern, and we don't care about the West Coasters, yada, yada, yada. I want to quickly make this one video for you and to get caught up with just about everything that's happened this week, because there's been a lot. There are two specific videos you should go out of your way to watch. I will link them here. You know, I'll put them in the little eye above on the right center, eye above my head, whatever. It'll be right there. You should look at it. The Rekieta Identity Crisis Part 1 and 2, very good. Please bear with me with the audio levels. I'll get them down eventually. Yeah, so get caught up with those very good videos and you will be able to figure out and be caught up to speed, and then join us tomorrow at our Friday show. But for this, breaking Balldo news. There's been a lot going on, all right? So I give a shout out to Breaking Balldo News. They've been going in overtime on this, so shout out to them. But breaking Balldo news, in the latest Keanu Thompson live stream, Keanu Live 77, a pop-up birthday stream, she completely flips on April and Rekieta, exposing intimate private details such as confirming she lives on the other property next door. Now we see why, like, April would show up for her Zoom hearings in Rekieta's studio. You know, they would blur out the background, but it'd be pretty obvious, you know, what was going down. So here we have the reveal was she and Gino on good terms again, though it could be more interesting than that. I am slowly wading through Keanu's Borcash. She said April hasn't had internet in 8 months, lives on the other property, and watches TV on her phone waiting for Nick to contact her. You know, this person, oh shit, damn Keanu. So Keanu seems to be holding back a lot of hate on Rekieta so far, but said that April called her bawling her eyes out after Rekieta blamed her for something heinous. Wouldn't say what it was. Rekieta only lets her over when Kayla is not home, according to her. So Rekieta, again, showing some very controlling behavior. You know, YouTube won't let me say what this is, but don't worry, I'll say every single thing tomorrow at the Friday show, where it's like, basically, the Senny squad supports me so much on these live streams that, you know, I can afford a limited ad or two, and the information will be thrown out more, because everybody, you know, it's a different format, okay? I can't explain the intricacies for this, and I don't want to get off topic, because there's some spicy stuff we still need to go over. So here's Keanu Thompson over here. And again, Breaking Balldo News has taken some of the most relevant, you know, things to talk about here. And we also have Rekieta over here talking, which, by the way, he did another Cope Fest, if you will, you know, and we'll be watching this too, the November 10th stream that he put out. It's gonna be something. Let me read this too. Keanu is implying that April streaming from Rekieta's house was his idea, and that when April talked to Keanu, she didn't understand why it was a bad look to be streaming her court appearances from his house. April sounds like a child. Is this something a sober person that is worried about keeping his and making his drugs test on time? Ha ha ha. Keanu wants to spill all the beans next time what happens allegedly. Don't blame somebody that lives next door to you because you got into a fight over it with your wife. So again, these are some very juicy details, very messed up actually, if you really look at it too, because again, I said this, I called it, I was like, the way Rekieta's leaning heavily now into fucking Aaron and you know, April's situation, and trying to make Aaron look like, you know, a domestic, you know, whatever. The one reoccurring thing with Rekieta is he always projects, so he's probably talking about himself. You know, Aaron hinted at this as well, and it was when he was telling Rekieta's wife to get out while she can, because she's too good for this. And, you know, we also, like yesterday, and this is why I'm telling you should watch yesterday's video as well, like the Identity Crisis Saga, or Duo Trilogy, or Duo! Oh god, I'm not good with this. I am illiterate, metokur. This is where you should watch the videos because we also go over Kayla, which is Lady Rackets' stepfather's statements regarding this because they have broken their silence as well. So there's a lot going on here. It's something. But let's see some of Keanu Thompson's what she has to say about this. Let's see clip number 1.
Emotional and sort of like bizarro abuse where I want you to be my side piece and live in my, I don't know, what shall we call it, a guest house, and also do all of your court things from my studio where everyone knows that you're there. Everybody online knows that's where Nick's studio is. And that's the only time he lets you come over unless Kayla's out of the house, and then he's like, yeah, pop on by. That, no bueno. No bueno. Emotional and
yeah, so as you can see, already kind of concerning, and she has all the details. It's worth noting who is Keanu Thompson, really, to give you a breakdown for the most relevance for the purposes of this stream, or the purposes of this video, I'm sorry, in this situation. They are a former Balldo Guard, if I remember correctly. There are a lot of Balldo Guards that are turning now, surprisingly enough, you know, or not too surprisingly. We're also going to look at Camelot's cope as well. So there's just a lot of stuff we're going to be covering tomorrow and on Saturday's stream. It's going to be great. And then, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. All right, so subscribe, thumbs up this video, and spread it everywhere. Because YouTube, at this point, we've come to a point where YouTube is just putting the yellow mark on every single one of my videos. And, you know, it's more of like getting the information out there that I care about. So even if a video goes yellow, I'll still post it. But that's when I rely on the SEN squad to be able to just, you know, mass share that shit, okay? But here we go with another clip right here, so let's play it.
and I'm just happy she's talking to me again, right? And I said, the thing that she told me was so annoying to me that he blamed her for. He said, do you know when somebody says it's not your fault, but it means it's your fault? Okay. The thing that she told me that he blamed her for was so heinous and so repulsive to me. And she was crying her eyes out and so fucking. This is not a good man. And I don't think that he has any chance of being one unless he. Fuck. I don't know what he needs to do. And I'm just happy she's talking to me again.
So again, this kind of just shows the pattern of Rekieta's behavior. I mean, look, the projection to Aaron, just his overall demeanor. This is not like a shocker, realistically, right? We have more confirmation now, but you know, anybody that was really looking and paying attention to this is really coming. Like, if you ask me, is this a shocker to you, Sen? I'm like, no, not at all. It's very obvious that Nick is, well, with narcissism and all this and the controlling attitude and et cetera, we saw. And we went over this again on yesterday's lengthy video where April confirmed Rekieta was cuckolded and Kayla was basically being plowed in front of him. You know, that's his wife and stuff because Nick couldn't satisfy her. But this whole swinging stuff started. And April accidentally did it, which now it makes sense because just April is not malicious and she's not a mole. She's just fucking stupid. Like the typical blonde-haired bimbo, right? That is exactly. And it doesn't help that, you know, she's, you know, addicted to booger sugar. So again, it's like one of those things where like, oopsie, you know, Rekieta, you know, oops. So, you know, I'm sorry. At that point, after saying booger sugar, I just kind of fucking lost my train of thought. So let's just move on to the next clip right here.
Just sheerly of the fact that, like, I have 5 children and this was such a public thing. You can't clean up a little bit back here? Or are you so fucking high and a piece of shit? Drug addict is one thing. Piece of shit is another. I think you, sir, are a piece of shit. Manipulative, awful, holier than thou, piece of shit. Just sheer.
And again, you know, I don't moral frog. You know, I try to stay away from that. But these are certain exceptions, right? There's a line, and Rekieta is hitting that line. Like like it's no longer that he's just a habitual liar, dishonest piece of shit. Like the accurate definition of a grifter, which I feel like I need to remind certain people because they throw out that term very often without actually knowing. A grifter is basically somebody that swindles, gives the perception they are one thing, and then it turns out that they are the other. And that's what a true grifter is. And with the purposes of only doing that in order to get money, right? Well, that is what Rekieta is. He pretended to be a trad dad, good father, clean, individual, only drank alcohol and, but like was cool and based, right? That's why he drank it or whatever, right? Never any of these, this other stuff. He said he was monogamous multiple times. He'll deny this. But we have multiple archives of this, which is why he started, leaning into like saying, you better make it transformative or I might just flag it. So he started becoming a flagger. This is worth noting as well. I see somebody kind of trying to sweep for Nick too, even though he's like turned his back on it. It's like one of those undercover. His name is C Goody. Continuously says that Nick is not false flagging. I posed this question to this individual about, well, how come Nick started doing this entire, like, you better make it transformative bullshit after it was revealed, actually, my Seni squad, that the reason Rekieta's case is going so bad for him is simply because of all the clippers out there getting his own words and statements used against him. Not to mention the fact that Rekieta went ahead and continues to lean to this day on the infamous watermark defense of COG, right? So COG got the archive of his video, and Rekieta says, oh, well, it's not the original copy, pal, because you can see right here. And so he tries to dismiss all the evidence of his incriminating details by saying that it's not valid, so because he made it transformative, essentially. So it's kind of fucking funny, and it's kind of weird, right? If you put these two things together, it's not hard to figure out that the only reason Rekieta is threatening to strike false flag clip channels when he has never done this before, and he's even fought against people doing this, is because he doesn't want to get fucked in his case even more. Easy. See, it's easy to put the puzzle together, so to speak. My Seni squad, and we will put the puzzles of the world together. All right, but let's move on. We got a couple more clips here. Let's see what else Keanu has to say.
And you got them back, and you know that people come and check up on your house. Don't you think you'd clean up a little bit? Don't you think you'd get to drug tests on time or at all? And you got them.
So again, she has private, intimate details of this entire thing, and that's worth noting because she's been in contact with April. In fact, April went ahead and commented on Keanu's. You can probably find the comments still there. I'll pull it up on stream tomorrow. But she said, and I quote, I trusted you, blah, 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 blah. So, there's that. All right. So just again, just put the puzzles, put the things together. You can figure out what is truth and what is fiction by looking, between the lines and just figure. That's basic critical thinking, my friends. All right. So let's see. Let's play this.
I had government in my ass earlier, so that's cool. Now
You had government in your ass earlier. Did you make it to your drug test on time this time? Get to your drug tests on time. If you wanted to keep your kids number one, you wouldn't, have this shit going on. Also, I just can't imagine what they think of you. And again, I don't know him. I think I was on one stream with him, or maybe two streams with him.
I had government in my ass earlier.
Okay, and now we're going to play the final clip. But again, very incriminating stuff right here.
And I don't have a sister wife or like a woman that I let live in the house next door and ignore her until she finally says, hey, fuck you. And I don't have a sister wife or
Interesting. And the final, right here.
Nick has lost his fucking mind as if it weren't already fucking lost. And all he's going to do is drag her down with him. And it's a very difficult thing to say to somebody that's in love with somebody, right? This man has been arrested because for child neglect, having guns around children, drugs around children. They had a battering ram go into the door. I don't know if you guys remember, but that's what happened. All right. But I've always been ride or die. I am there for my friend April. I get it. But I'm so glad that she is talking to me once again. And that's perfectly fine. But at some point you do have to go. And I told her, we've been talking on the phone at length. And I said, I'm not saying this man can't get his shit together. But do you think he has his shit together? Also, you're living in the house that is for sale on his property. She's a kind soul. Okay? April Imholt, kind soul. Much like me. But sometimes you need a little bit of tough love. I don't know what it's going to take. I hope they lock Rekieta up and throw away the key for his alleged crimes. Okay. Just for the sole fact, I don't give a fuck about him or his wife, who I don't know. I don't know either of them, but he's a monster and an idiot. And I hate that she's sitting there without internet for 6 fucking months. Okay.
So again, very controlling behavior. One would call it like, abusive behavior and stuff, which is again one of the things where I'm like, it's hilarious that he tried to project this onto Aaron. Now we don't know the details of Aaron, but we know specifically that this guy, I mean, look, he is worse objectively. If you are deluding yourself to thinking Aaron is on the same levels as Nick in terms of like scumminess, I am like really pressing an X to doubt at this point, And it's just human nature that when you have somebody be such a fucking pile of absolute fucking garbage, repulsive, weaselly, right? Because he's not even an asshole that'll wear it on his sleeve. Like I always said this, look, I try not to moral frog about it, but I expect the people that act like pieces and piles of garbage to flaunt it and be like, yeah, that's what I am. Okay, I'm not afraid to admit it. I will take any repercussion that comes. Right? That's how I act, right? That's what I do, okay? Even though I'm never going to be like this or whatever, right? I still don't expect, the world to feel, oh, woe is me, like fucking people like Nick will do. People like Ralph has been doing this as well after almost passing out the other day, or he did pass out for about like 3 hours or so. It is the whole, no, my guys, you can't be doing this. It is a disconnect. I value authenticity more than ever now, okay? And I don't like this shit. When I see bad faith actors with Pinocchio noses, right? Whether it's Rekieta, whether it's Larix from the commentary community, whether it's that fucking that technicals guy who we'll be talking about these other two people in the future, by the way, because they are just as slimy as Rekieta. But whether it's you people, I don't know. I don't like this where you politic your way into trying to look like you're good, but we all know you're rotten to the fucking core, and the only reason you're protected is because of your standing. Now, Rekieta has lost all good standing. He's lost the will of the people. He's lost every bit of protection, every little benefit of the doubt that he used to get. Back when people were saying, Shen, you just want to be on your show. That was like the go-to defense or whatever, right? He's lost that. Because now it's not about that. It's not. In fact, Rekieta actually replied to me finally after I dropped part 2, so there must have been something very fun in there that got his attention, right? Here's the thing, though. Rekieta, and to anybody else that are like, oh, Rekieta knows you, that's that's clout. It's like, bro, this guy is bleeding subscribers. This guy is bleeding fucking followers, right? There's no clout to be really necessarily gained from Rekieta. There's a lot of lulls to be gained from like covering Rekieta at this point, right? And again, it's not like I inserted myself into this specifically for the profit of or the wanting profit, all right, so to speak. Like some other people, I've seen some like, you know, people insert themselves into art commentary fucking drama for no fucking reason, like extensively cover this thing when they have no prior history of knowing anything. Listen, I have history. I was in Weeb Wars. I was in group chats with this motherfucker. I was seeing him be a con man firsthand. I was shunned for trying to point this out. Okay? I'm sorry, it was a lot for an 18-year-old to handle at the time. But I was there, and I saw every little thing of him being a con man. But, of course, the gaslighting from the internet. No, Sen, you're wrong. You're the bad guy here. You're Wally Khan. You know, you need to get in line. You need to defend this guy's honor, right? Never again do I listen to fucking people that obviously don't have my best interest at heart. I've learned to distinguish that at this point. The Seni squad has my fucking back. The Seni squad won't lead me astray, and I won't lead them astray. Any other trolling, sector-tard, stranger, weirdo, Rekieta Balldo Guard that comes in and claims to be like, oh, I'm just looking out for you, pal. Yeah, big X'd it out, motherfucker. All right? My only regret is that I even defended this guy from the Keffel situation, which I guess you can objectively look at it as him being in the right? But at the same time, it's like, do I owe goodwill to people like this? No, absolutely not. I was a fucking fool for ever getting in line, whether that was with my old pals Lily, whether that's with the commentary tards. Stupidest fucking decision of my life, all right? You know, there have been critiquers of me. You're such a flip-flopper and a glyph. It's like, no, motherfuckers. I was just trying to do, quote-unquote, the right thing. Whatever the fuck that meant, all right? But obviously, it's not fucking listening to idiots like this that, well, I mean, I'm looking at you, Rekieta. But it was really the people around you, right? There's idiots around glorified e-celebs that claim to have your best interest at heart. They don't. They'll lie. They'll lie to you. All right? And this is perfect proof. And once again, my judgment did not fail me. But my only regret is that I didn't act upon it correctly. I didn't execute things correctly. I was a hot-headed, spurgy fucking kid. In a way, I'm still kind of spurgy, I guess, but I'd like to think that not like this guy. Not like a fucking coke fiend. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's all I have for this video, guys. We'll be covering a lot more. Again, Friday, Saturday show. We got a lot to do. Appreciate you guys. Like and share. Please check out the previous videos, if you will, if you want to get caught up to speed. And, yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Send a like, and remember, don't be rackets.